All right. Welcome to day 3 of Egypt. What we're going to talk about real quick is a little more about the Egyptian culture and their belief systems, including their gods, and their process of honoring the dead. So Egyptians were very strong believers in the afterlife, and they believe that life after death is very similar to what life is on Earth. And because of this, they believed in mummification, which is a way of preserving the body. They also embalm the bodies. To put that in the simplest terms, they basically removed all the body parts, and then after that's done, they would wrap the body in several layers of linen, and then they would do they would then put it over as an adhesive, pretty much, a resin, that covered it, basically secured all the wrappings on the body. When people were entombed into the pyramids, which is where a lot of the pharaohs were put in, they would include the things that they liked. So like if they had a favorite jewelry, or they had a game they liked to play, or furniture that they liked in their house, they would include that. Other things would be like food that they like. Like Mr. May, if he was getting mummified, probably would want tacos, a couch, and a TV in his chamber for mummification. And they believe that people, when they go into the afterlife, will use the things that they had brought with them there. So it's a way of their way. It's the way that the Egyptians viewed death as not an ending, but another beginning. This here is a depiction of the afterlife for the Egyptians. It also shows the process of mummification. As you can see, there's about 5 people here working on them as they wrap all the body parts. The entire body will be wrapped in these linens whenever they are done. Egyptians also are strong believers in polytheism. And polytheism means many gods or multiple gods. Here in the United States, a lot of our religions are monotheistic, believing in one God. But the Egyptians back there believed in polytheism, which is many gods. This has become a very normal thing in the groups that we will be studying. And we can also look back on the Egyptian gods when we go to look at some other civilizations that we look at in the future and try to see some similarities about them. In addition to that, the pharaoh, he's believed to be a descendant of the gods. And he's kind of like an intermediary, or a person who talks to the gods, who then talks to the people. So he's like he's an in-between. He's the middleman in making sure that the gods are taken care of, and that the everyday people like myself are taken care of. The food they grew, part of it went to the gods. So they would take it to these temples that they had built and offer food to the gods. So it's a very interesting way of viewing the culture and the world. Finally, we have the Egyptian pyramids. They are constructed as burial monuments for the Egyptian pharaohs. They were built of massive stones. One stone could weigh the equivalent of 3 elephants, almost 15 tons. All right? And they built these things up, higher and higher and higher and higher, till they reach the top. And inside them, inside the pyramids, there are these corridors or chambers that house many of the items that the Egyptians thought the pharaohs would need in afterlife. Remember we talked about they would give them food. They'd bring food, furniture, makeup, games. Just everything would be there in this whole this area to hold them. And that's what they did. Now, one of the benefits of Egypt, unlike other parts of the world, is that outside of near the Nile River Valley, it is mostly desert. So it actually is a perfect environment to preserve the bodies. And that's why now we've been able to study the Egyptian culture so well and for so long, is because they basically are kept in perfect condition because of the environment. If you think about it, if we step outside here in Nashville during the summer, it's really humid, it's really thick, it's just hot, we sweat, and no matter what you do. In Egypt, it's very dry. You're going to sweat, but your body is not going to do, the dead bodies don't decompose, which means the skin falls off. They're very well maintained. in Egypt. In addition to that, they removed all liquids from the bodies when they were placed inside the pyramid. This here is an aerial view of the pyramids of Giza. There is a video that is attached in our Schoology page. I will show you that in a second, just so you know where it's at and what you can view. There's 2 videos. One is going to be an aerial overview by drone on the Great Pyramids of Giza. And the other one talks about how the pyramids are built, where the chambers are, and a little more details about how they did about it. A little secret, the pyramids were not built by slaves, as we've been told before. They were built by professional contractors, people who would live outside the city and then come in and build the pyramids. The Pyramid of Giza, for 4,000 years, was the tallest building in the world, the tallest structure. It lasted for 4,000 years. In many cases now, that keeps going, it keeps changing pretty consistently, especially as I was getting older, it changed multiple times. But it contained 6 million tons of stone. That's between 1 and 2 million elephants. That's how much all of this weighs. Think about almost 2 million elephants are what it took to build this structure. And it's very interesting. It's very great for what the people have experienced. And for historians, the pyramids are something that we all love looking at and discussing how they got to be the way they were. And as we studied it more, we got to understand that process. So this is the inside of a burial chamber, right? And inside the pyramid, there are basically 3 levels, all right? They allow air to get in here through the entrances and into the buildings, right? In the king's chamber, you're going to see some granite. And in the queen's chamber, you see granite as well. They have a gallery as you walk up. And the entire inside of the pyramids are going to be very well decorated so that you can see everything about it. But the king's chamber is at the top, the queen's chamber, and then a subterranean pit. All right? And inside the king's chamber, in addition to the limestone that makes up the outside, they will have granite that goes around it. And it looks just really nice. It's supposed to be beautiful. This is the inside, guys. I mean, the detail. Wow. I mean, it's great. Now, a lot of you would like to know, are there booby traps inside there? They did place booby traps in there to protect them and deter thieves from looting the tombs. However, most of the pyramids end up being looted. It's where people would do things to get what they want, and they would steal out of these graves to get things that they wanted. All right, so the last thing I wanted you guys to see is here are one of the videos. This is the drone passing over the pyramids of Giza. It gives us many different views. I mean, that right there is a solid view. As you can see, all 3 pyramids. There's actually 6 pyramids because there's 3 more over here right in front of the smaller one. But they all face north. So it's a great thing for you guys to see. And then in here, it gives a little more knowledge about the pyramids, different things, who the first ones were built with, everything. All right? And I just think it's good you guys can see all these different things. And if you are able to and look for other things, if you want to, you can look at how mummification is done. You can look at how to make a mummy, the Sphinx, all those things. And then finally, to get into the cultural aspects, I've included a link on our Schoology page with all the gods of Egypt. And you can hear their story. And they all interconnect, and they make a really cool story about the people that made up the Egypt at the time and what they experienced. So what I'm going to do now is go to our Schoology page so you guys can see exactly where it's at. I'm just going to go to 5A here, 5th period. And under week 10, there is these videos. This is the Egyptian gods. Shh, quiet. The Egyptian gods. Gertie. There's the pyramids of Giza and the pyramid of Giza's flyover. Don't forget, day 1 and 2 of the class is right here as well. You guys also have work that's due this week. You have an Egypt hierarchy. Quiet. Egypt hierarchy. My dog is barking. I apologize for her doing that. You have this Egypt hierarchy assignment that's due. You also need to do this, how the Nile River led to civilization in ancient Egypt. This is the assignment. This is the reading. Do the reading, then the assignment. All right? I've also included the PowerPoint that I just went over. It's got everything that's going to be included in the second week as well. Don't forget to do any of the entry tickets or the exit tickets, guys. These things are worth points, and they can add up very quickly if you don't do the assignments. All right. So if you don't have any other questions for me, I hope I can do the best I can. Feel free to email me or message me on Schoology if you have questions. I am here to help. And as always, I hope you guys get everything you want out of this so we can all be successful. Have a great day from Mr. May.